Obviously, he fell in love with it and continued to do it throughout his high school career, and now he has done it for senior project. Please welcome Mr. Dain Rutla to the podium.
But I wanted to create something basic. I've been interested in stock trading since I was about 11. I traded when I was young. When most kids wanted to be a fireman or a doctor, I wanted to be an investment banker. The summer after sophomore year, I interned for a brokerage firm on the Philadelphia Stock Exchange, becoming likely the youngest ever intern on the floor. I wanted to get more into algorithmic trading because the mysteriousness behind it and how lucrative it is. I think stories like that I just shared are so interesting. Most people have no idea what really goes on Wall Street and the stock market. Did you know about 75% of all stock trading is automated? No longer is it someone interested in a stock and calling up their broker. I've wanted to be in senior project ever since my brother Alex took it years ago. I thought the opportunity to do something of my own choice was interesting. After much deliberation of what I would do my project on, I decided to do it on building a trading algorithm since I plan on going into this as a career. I had more problems than I anticipated. At the very beginning of the project, we were tasked with finding a mentor. Finding a mentor is really hard because to do this, you need a very combination of financial knowledge and computer programming skills. I talked with one potential mentor, then started to really doubt the project because of the formalities I had to follow. I became sure that no one would be able to help. That was the worst part of the project for me. Yet the class said I needed a mentor. It was a welcoming relief when another senior project student suggested I talk to Mr. Kyle Genslinger, as he has some knowledge of both of these things. I met with him and liked his intrigue in the project and his easygoing attitude. We agreed to work together. I started to feel pretty good again. With the mentor selection out of the way, I had the most annoying part done, but now I had to actually get to work. I'd been building my systems on Quantopian.com. It's basically a workshop for quants. A quant is someone who builds stock trading algorithms. This website provided the space, tools, and data. Everything I needed was built in, and I just needed to write the code. If you do well with your strategy, you can connect it to a brokerage account. My main goal was to create an algorithm that traded based on Twitter's public sentiment of different companies. There are modules I could import into my code to include rankings of how people tweeted about them. I wanted to use this to trade the highest bullishly ranked stocks, stocks expected to raise in price, and take a few percent before I sell, and also short sell the bearishly rated stocks, stocks expected to drop in price. I got far into this process, then lacked the programming ability to proceed as it grew too advanced. I really liked this idea and thought it was much more interesting than a typical beginner-level momentum trading algorithm. I worked on this for a few weeks, but it came to no avail. I hope to return to it later. My idea felt validated when one of the days around when I was just starting on it, I saw an article in Snapchat's news about a company who created a system that short sells and buys based on Trump's tweets, and is making great returns. One of the first things I did on Quantopian, before I had my Twitter trading idea, was look at other people's algorithms. I found one interesting one and recreated it in my account. I traded it to see how it worked, and I loved it. It made 20% in 1 month with live trading. The only thing I didn't anticipate was it generating 800 pages of tax returns in that 1 month of trading. Luckily, I was trading it through the brokerage firm Robinhood, or else I would have been spending thousands of days in brokerage fees, but they don't charge anything. I wanted to make the best possible version of this algorithm that I could. I changed some of the variables, such as what price bracket stocks it owned and what percent gain or loss it sold at. Then made 10 or so different versions and tested them all. They performed very differently. One version made 140% in paper trading in 6 months. Paper trading is when you fake trade the stock market without real money. This did by far the best, but I knew it wouldn't work in real-world application. The paper trading didn't account for the impact my trading would have on the stock market. It would warp the price, and the stocks were very illiquid. They were hard to sell. Also, it wouldn't be able to fill all the orders because of SEC day trading regulations, unless I had $25,000 in my account. I went with another version that took more liquid and higher volume stocks that wouldn't be as manipulated. So far, this is trading well. I wanted to do more than just edit other people's systems, though. I wanted to craft my own ideas and better understand other people's, which is why I wanted to make my own from scratch. I was looking for interesting theories to base my strategy off of and came across one that claimed the market was highest at noon and lowest at the end of the day. I created a program that bought the S&P 500 every day, 1 minute before close, and sold the next day at noon, every day. It didn't take me very long to write this code, but then I went to test it and it gave me error. I had to tweak it probably 20 times. When it finally worked, I was thrilled. I started to get really excited. How about short sell between noon and 3:59, or short sell from 3:59 to noon, and all other sorts of versions. The problem was keeping on task with one idea at a time. From just a few lines of code, a bot was now trading for me every day and making money without me lifting a finger after I hit go. After that, I wanted to devote all of my time to my Twitter sentiment bot, but that never came to fruition. To do this, I needed to know computer programming. I tried to learn, but it was very hard. This was a recurring theme throughout my project, as my programming skills were not nearly up to snuff. I learned and progressed on codecademy.com, an online site to learn the programming language Python, but could not learn as much as I would have liked. What I needed to know is very specific and hard to figure out. The programs I was working on weren't super long, but the knowledge I needed to create that was immense. Although, not much later, I was on my university's Class of 2021 Facebook page, and someone posted about joining the Quant club and asked for people who knew Python. I felt pretty good. I was pretty good knowing I was headed in the right direction, and that this was something I should continue to learn even after my project. I met with Mr. Genslinger later in the year, and he told me I should focus on analyzing the program and seeing why it does well when. I went back to check my program and realized it only ever traded the first day. This was odd though, because it had good returns. Over 2 years, it made 19.4%, while the S&P made 19.1%. It had beat the S&P 500 in various tests, simply from trading the first day. Sadly, I had to go for help for this though, so I posted it on the Quantopian forums, and someone had a fix which somewhat worked. I was amazed when I found out it traded worse now. It ran tests of trading at different times in the day and drastically changed the performance. Once, in a 3.5-month back test, it lost 5.7%, while the S&P gained 6.4%. I then went back to the first time period of buy at close and sell at noon, then leveraged it 15-1, then it handily beat the S&P 500 42.7 to 13.4 over 2 years. For my service piece, I didn't know what I wanted to do for a long time. How can building a stock trading algorithm help other people? This was another reason why I was worried about taking senior project. I was unsure about finding an applicable service piece. I then was given the idea of helping the Boy Scouts with their personal management merit badge, something every Scout needs in order to become an Eagle Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout and remembered how much more fun it is when older kids taught things instead of adults. I helped with the first of 2 meetings these 9 Scouts will do to complete the merit badge. We discussed what interest is, what a mutual fund is, what a stock is, and other finance questions. Even though my project wasn't 100% a success, such as never finishing the Twitter idea, I still enjoyed it. I liked the mysteriousness behind these algorithms, and it was interesting that I could create something that would then make me money and I wouldn't have to do anything. I had a lot of adversity as I had to overcome, but I was always hitting walls. Hitting walls, but I kept trying. The thing about me, though, is that I'm fine with having to work hard by myself, but I hate having to work with other people, which is what much of this class is based around and really pushed me out of my comfort zone with. At times, I thought this project showed me I did not want to continue this as a career. When I first met with Mr. Genslinger, he mentioned a project to me that a student realized he had no interest in pursuing it later on whatsoever. In the end, I do not think this is the case for me. What the project taught me most of all was that A, I'm not artistic. My poster and binder design are horrible. I do not like doing arts and craftsy things. And then B, by far the most dreaded parts of my project were having to go to other people for help. I like to be able to do everything by myself. I hated the idea of unnecessary paperwork and tasks. All I wanted to do was work on my project. This directed me as I had to do what I don't like. While I may not have liked it, it is important to do, and if I wasn't doing new things and adapting, what is the point of being in class? It pushed me to do things I wouldn't otherwise. Not only did I learn about finance, but I learned valuable communication skills that will help me in my career later on. My project may have been about beating the stock market by building a stock trading algorithm, but it taught me much more than that. Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Crenland?
So did you trade real money and did you make real money?
So the question was, did I trade real money and did I make real money? Yes. So starting off, how I talked about, I looked at other people's and edited theirs. That's what I've mostly been trading with real money. In 1 month, I made $700, and then I restarted again recently, I stopped for a while, and in the past 3 days, I'm up over 5%, which is over $400. So yeah. Mr. Rutler?
Is that your money or is that Dad's money?
Mine. My money. Yes?
Why did you pick the S&P 500 as your target?
So the question was, why did I pick the S&P 500 as my target? Basically just because it's a pretty well-used market benchmark, so I just wanted to go with that. Mrs. Keys?
What would be your ideal job? What do you pick?
Shorter term, working as a financial engineer at a hedge fund, which is making this kind of stuff, and longer term, being a hedge fund manager. Mr. Odner?
I was wondering, so you mentioned the Quant Club at the school you were
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah.
Have you already communicated with them?
Not yet, but as it's closer to the school year starting, I will. Yes, Ben?
So there's a little stock market around the middle. You have like a free stock market things or anything?
Not really. I like international stuff. That's just why I'm going to school abroad. So anywhere in the world, I like, yeah.
All right, you guys know the drill. Be back here in 5 minutes.